Hey you, thanks for clicking on the video. Yeah, I said it, thank you. Like, sub, comment, let's hop right in. Let me ask you a question. What the fuck is up with Blaze the Cat? Blaze the Cat was introduced in the hit video game Sonic Rush, and when I mean introduced, I mean she quite literally wakes up not knowing what the fuck is going on. We live in a post Blaze the Cat introduction world, and Blaze the Cat hasn't been incredibly important in decades. But what makes Blaze the Cat so interesting is Sonic 06. At first you think Sonic 06 would know its fucking place and stay far away from other Sonic games. It's a pretty big Sonic game and you don't want to introduce characters for the first time that were introduced somewhere else, because then, you know, you're going to have to stay consistent with that backstory. And we all knew that that story probably wasn't going to go to Blaze's world, so you wouldn't expect Blaze to be in it at all. And then what the fuck is this? Blaze's only goal inside of Sonic 06 was quite literally to be a plot device in order to seal Iblis the Trigger away. Yes, Iblis the Trigger. Hey guys, it's me, Iblis the Trigger, the new Sonic character in the new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Blaze the Cat quite literally was just there. She had no real reason to be there, and in fact, the only thing she does in the story that's of any note beyond her interactions with Silver is literally die. For a story that gets erased from the timeline. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a waste of time that was. And let me be very clear about this, because when I say this, there's a bunch of people out there who will think I literally just do not like any female Sonic characters within the series. No, let's be very clear here. How Blaze is used within the series itself, she hasn't been used well since Sonic Rush Adventure. Okay, let's be very clear about that. Having a 2-game long streak of actually having good games is not a very good track record. Every time Blaze gets something really cool to do, it's always due to the fact that Sonic focuses on her. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that I just had to say that, because Blaze the Cat's entire character is about two things. Her being kind of stoic and shit like Shadow, and her having a kingdom to rule. And you cannot focus on the entire cast and focus on Blaze, because Blaze's world is meant for her to rule a place with people in it, unless she is literally just the warrior of the jungle, which would be crazy, and I would love to see that happen, but that's not what's implied. There's a bunch of things to say, but there's not a bunch of things being said with Blaze. Although we explore this part of the timeline way more than we do with Silver the Hedgehog, you have to admit that Blaze the Cat is still one of the worlds that we know the least about. And I mean the least about as in there is nothing we can do with Blaze's world except for sit, stare, and go like, what could have been? Yes. Okay, if you're sitting out there in the audience and you're listening to me and you're hearing me do all this super cool shit, getting all up in your brain waves and all that super cool stuff, I need you to put down in the comment a single time post 06 that Blaze has had any impact on a story that is beyond the scope of Sonic's world. And you know the worst part about it? Like, literally the worst part about the next Sonic game is going to literally be the fact that every single Sonic friend we see is just going to be the same set of Sonic friends that we've already seen, plus Shadow. Yeah, I said it. I have no faith that no one except for Sonic and Shadow are going to be in the next Sonic game. And while Shadow being in the next Sonic game is great, I kinda want them to use a different set of characters. Go like, hey, Knuckles, Tails, Amy went off all on their own adventures. Now let's have Blaze, Silver, and Marine, I don't know, go off on their own adventures instead in this journey. And then we split Sonic off from all of his friends split up and stuff, and we can do something really cool with that. Have Sonic get lost in Blaze's world. Blaze is trying to find him to get him to help or something, and Sonic just gets left in the world and he has to like save it, and Blaze isn't there to help. Blaze's world is a lot of things. interesting? I think not. The thing about Blaze the Cat is the simple fact that it is a similar world to Sonic's, but it's also a different world. And when we aren't exploring those differences, like when we're running through the levels, I don't think that there are many things I can say other than there is a lot of wasted potential. And I know you agree with me, put it in the comments if you agree. We should go back to Blaze's world and see more of it. I like the Scepter, okay? The Scepter incident is really cool to watch play out. And that's one of the reasons why I made this video, is because the Scepter incident is so cool that like anything can be in this world and I would just be down to see it. Like, it doesn't even have to be something super massive, super big. All I want to see is the simple fact of Blaze's world has a lot of mystical artifacts and a lot of cool shit, and I want to be there to witness it. I'm beating you over and over and over again with this information, but I just need you to get it. I need you to get it, man. The world is turning gay and the frogs are turning gay. Let's make Blaze the Cat gay too. Have you ever heard of Avengers Secret Wars? And I'm talking about the good one. I'm talking about that good one from 2016. It's basically a comic book, but before that there was this thing called the Incursions event. Well, that's not exactly what it was called. I'm pretty sure that's not exactly what it was called. But basically the Incursions event was a event where two planets would smash into each other and fucking obliterate each other. Basically, there was a whole bunch of people named Owen Reese. Yes, a whole bunch of people named Owen Reese. Literally, Owen Reese's Pieces. That is fucking insane. But Owen Reese dies, then two planets get pulled towards each other and they fucking explode. Yeah, they quite literally explode. Now, what if I told you that Sonic did it in Sonic Rush first? Yes, Sonic Rush is like the first time in the Sonic series that we get the idea that two planets can just crash into each other and destroy the entire multiverse, although that's not exactly what happened. So, when Sonic Rush finally finishes, we get out and we see Blaze and we go like, wow, Blaze is such a cool character. But we weren't in her dimension during Sonic Rush. So, let's be very, very clear here. Sonic Rush is quite literally just Australia, okay? Sonic Rush Adventure, mind you. They have a whole bunch of koala people living there. Now, mind you, these koala people aren't really developed, and I would say that they are the least interesting Sonic characters in the history of the planet, and anyone who disagrees just doesn't understand koalas, okay? Because koalas are lame in real life. How can you make them interesting in the fucking video game without giving them superpowers? I know, subjective opinions and all that bullshit, but we have to be very clear about this. The only cool things about Rush Adventure is the simple fact that the characters introduced, basically Marine, because the koalas suck. Marine is the only memorable part of that game, other than, you know, the other characters in it. So like, what are we doing here? There's no value. We all lose. Also, Marine and the koalas haven't shown up since Sonic Rush Adventure. So you can very well just say, hey, they're not actually canon. They're quite literally in another world and they never come back. So you can just erase them out of the story. Make them never have existed. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? But thank you for watching the video. Hey, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you have a beautiful day, and like, subscribe, comment. I said that at the beginning, but saying it at the end doesn't hurt, because sometimes you just want to look somebody in the eyes and say thank you. Anyway, see you guys later. Put your nose up there, these bridges. We'll see a deep throat, 0.5 inches. Yeah. I stuck my fingers in. You were hiding heroin.